All right, so let's switch to some questions here. I want to get my 2 cents here. Do you accept or reject that Israel has the right to exist? Absolutely, Israel has the right to exist. Is it that clear?
That's clear.
Okay.
Move on.
Done with this one? Okay. Do you consider yourselves moderate or conservative? Moderate. I think you got that by now, right?
Moderate to a degree. You have no moderation when it comes
Oh,
to
okay.
that.
Well, we have differences. We have differences, but we don't.
Wait, what? Politically or religious?
Well, what does that
Oh, I
mean?
didn't say.
I know,
Yeah.
that's what I'm wondering. I consider myself a progressive.
Oh, God.
All right.
You have to right
That's it. Meeting's over. End the meeting.
in this country. You have the right to be wrong.
Right. I thought that would be a good way to end the meeting.
Another question on the same card. Are the radical Muslims who hate Jewish people accepted by moderates? I'm not sure what I understand the question. I think, again, I think as Magda said before, to believe in Islam, you have to believe in the Torah. The Jews are the people of the book. They existed and lived with Muslims throughout the centuries. So, by definition, we accept the people. The Quran says even refers to the Jewish people as the chosen people. It's in the Quran. So obviously Islam, accept Jewish people. If there are radicals who hate Jewish people, I mean, again, there are a lot of people who hate other people for political reasons, for social reasons, whatever. I mean,
Only progressives.
no, you really, I mean, seriously, but you have to make a distinction between what the religion says to date. I'm not saying about the religion 2,000 years ago. The religion to date, what it says, and the people who claim to be in that religion and use it for political reasons or otherwise. And that's what we were hoping to try to convey here in this dialogue here.
I also think it's important just to really make a distinction is that a lot of the differences between Arabs and Jews are political. Culturally, we are so much alike. I taught at a Jewish university, and I cannot tell you, like the women, we were culturally so similar. And so the differences can be political. There's a difference between having political differences and hating people. We don't. I mean, that's a really important distinction.
Let me tell you, being a retired Army, when we had our MREs issued to us, there were kosher MREs and there were MREs just made for
Halal.
okay, and it was almost identical. You couldn't, except for the fact that it said kosher, you couldn't tell the difference. It all tasted terrible.
Culturally,
there is some question how to do peace
But
in
I
the
looked
Middle
at you,
East.
you
I
ain't
wish I
allowed
know
the
how to do
MREs.
that. I think I'm going to do that. I feel like one way or the other we touched on all the questions. So I went through them in one form or another. So unless there is
Different
I don't want to
questions, some other questions, some
Or
other area we didn't touch
somebody-
on.
What do you think you could do to bring the cultures together and bring the religions together?
Well, I think,
as a Muslim community,
Yeah.
as supposedly leaders of it, obviously you're all very,
I think-
as a Muslim community,
Yeah.
as supposedly leaders of it, obviously you're all very educated.
Right.
Obviously, we don't agree on just the mosque. We'll never agree on that because you can't tell me you're moderate. So, on that part, but how do you think you can reach us
Okay.
before the animals come out of the woodwork?
So-
And they will come out on both sides.
yeah, so, and actually that's something, so let me, I talked to Jill when she, we saw her. I said, listen, one meeting is not gonna do very much. I mean, obviously the gap is so huge that to really create a dialogue and truly understand each other. You may not agree with anything we say after all, but truly have a civil dialogue and understand every person's position and all that. It requires more discussion than the 1 hour that we're allowed.
So you want to come back?
So my offer, personally, I'm not speaking of anyone else, but my offer to you, I'm willing to come back and I'm willing to continue the dialogue, answer more questions and so on. And I think truly the second meeting will be much more productive than the first one. I think we accomplished a lot in this meeting.
We're going to DC 912. Would you like to come down with us?
But the reason, but I think unless we get to that point where we truly feel now we're respecting and understanding each other's position, that's only at that point in time then we can say, what can we do together? And I'm sorry, it's a two-way street. It's not us we should do. It's both of us what we should do. It's,
Which was that? I think this is.
it's really the point. We're, remember what was said before. We're as much scared about not just the Tea Party, but what's happening in the country.
It should be Ted, Tea Party, they're trying to help everyone.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm picking on the Tea Party. That's not what I'm scared about personally. But I think the fact is that I think it's a two-way street. We need to reach that point of really dialoguing well, and then we can agree, so what should we do next? Maybe we can go jointly and take a position on some issue or something, I don't know.
Yeah, the lady in the back had a question for a long time. Yeah.
I just wanted to say that I really appreciate that you came to talk to us, and I feel badly that we're like projecting against you the anger and hurt that we all feel from 9/11. Sorry, I have a hard time even mentioning it without losing it.
We all feel the same.
And I just want to say that my family's from Germany originally, and they came over late 1800s, early 1900s. And we have relatives back in Germany, and it makes me think about World War II and the Nazis. They may have been Germans, but not all Germans were Nazis. It was a political party. And I see the same with the terrorists. It's not that they're Muslims. They're a political party. And so I really would like for us, if we have further discussion, whether it's today or another day, that when we ask people to come, we listen to what they have to say and not project all this anger and bitterness.
Thank you.
I think the gentleman there had
I think
been
you had
really nice.
she's had a question for the longest time, and you have a question.
Yeah, just two
The
questions.
lady
Okay.
behind you, actually, she had.
The Tea Party is about the Constitution, and we want to get the Constitution back on track. There's an entity that wants to put the Sharia law into this country. Why?
Let's Murad, Janan, could you, Murad, go ahead.
Is that really true? I mean,
Well, that's what that's what I see on
how
TV.
can if Sharia is really the depiction of all the laws that are brought down in the Quran. In other words, that when you look at the Quran and you try to make a constitution out of it for civil, courts that can actually, be able to deal with people's problems and people's inheritances and people's marriages and so forth, it is applicable only to Muslims. Okay, so there is absolutely no concept that you can mix that with the Constitution. In other words, when you look at it, as we said, look at all the Muslim countries in the world, they have constitutions, civil constitutions that they are run by.
And secular.
In the meantime, they do have courts that are essentially Sharia courts that implement the Sharia law in those particular situations. So it is not applicable. Sharia law is not applicable to a non-Muslim.